one key issue that was highlighted was about Khalistan. The Khalistani continuous violence that happens there and the threats that are issued, a lot of propaganda as well. Whenever sovereignty of the country is impinged, the Indian Prime Minister raises such issues with its counterparts. So the same was done yesterday with UK Prime Minister, and today it will be done in a much more vociferous manner with Justin Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister as well.
Right. Aditya, it seems like that tagline of Modi hai to mumkin hai has to be changed to Modi hai to consensus hai, right?
Absolutely. You bang on there, Kabir, because, you know, there might be political differences here, but the political differences were not really the focus here. Focus was really how there can be a consensus and, you know, there can be areas where we can work together. That was the mantra really with which Prime Minister Narendra Modi, his diplomats and bureaucrats really worked for a consensus for over a year. And let's remember, G20 presidency isn't over yet. It will be over in December. There are many more meetings that will be held over the next 3 to 4 meetings. But a big achievement, a win-win situation for New Delhi, that a consensus has been achieved. Modi's magic has worked along with a guarantee, really. And this guarantee is not just for one, but for all. And that's how this is one family, one future that we are looking together at.
And, even in that government-sourced, document that we just received and all the information that, is being trickled down to the newsroom via, of course, Aditya, who's with us from the International Media Center. Aditya, this other angle is that, Modi hai to mumkin hai combined with Modi ka magic is certainly there. But all of this is happening under a strong leader. They think that there is a strong leader in the shape of Prime Minister Modi, who's at the head of the largest democracy. That is the attractive factor for all these other nations now, isn't it?
Absolutely, that's a very attractive factor, and all nations actually want to have strong bilateral ties with India. We've seen that continuously, not just during this G20, but for over years. In the last few years, we've seen a paradigm shift in the Indian foreign policy that is reflective in several of these multilaterals where India's voice is being heard, and India is that magnetic factor that is bringing countries together. Last year, during the Russia-Ukraine war as well, we saw continuously Prime Minister Modi engaging both with Putin and Zelensky. In fact, when the Indian students were stranded there, we saw, Indian Prime Minister convincing Putin to, in fact, have a negotiation and finally also stopping the war for a few hours so that Indian students and other nationalities who were stranded there can actually be evacuated. And that was made possible through strong diplomacy of India. India has independent and very historic ties with Russia and similar ties with Ukraine and US as well. So while many may preach, many may actually use patronizing tone and dictate terms to us, but India is, here to stay. India is very strong in its diplomacy.